Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's been a while, but we're back. 8 straight weeks of primaries here, and we are live. We are going over the Indiana primaries. We got several House races. We got Senate race. We have a governor's race. We have obviously the presidential race, which no one cares about anymore because obviously we have our two nominees. So welcome to primary night. So first off, before I get started, thank you everyone for subscribing, and thanks to my friend Salt Vonica or Salt.exe. He made my new logo. So shout out to you. You rock with the thanks for making the new logo. So without out of the way, let's just get started here. So with I probably am gonna be flying solo for today's stream. So yeah. So since Dante probably will not be here today, I'm just gonna read you his write-up that he made since he will not be here probably today. He may come in later, but yeah. So here we go. I gotta do scrolling right quick. All right. So the Senate race, we have Mike Braun retiring to run for governor. After a single term, Jim Banks cleared the field, and he's the only guy running in the Republican primary for Indiana Senate. And the governor, the presumptive frontrunner, is Braun. He has good name advantage. He's a sitting senator, locked up the Trump endorsement, and he's the clear frontrunner. However, his biggest opponent is Suzanne Croce. I believe that's how you pronounce it. She is the lieutenant governor under Governor Holcomb, and she has racked up endorsements from many state leaders. Again, two other candidates are Indiana Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers and Eric Dolan, the former president of the Economic Development Corporation, former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill, who got he screwed himself. Basically, he got a multiple allegations. So that's for Indiana governor. All right, so here's some of our house races. Indiana freed Jim Banks' seat. Former Congressman Marlon Stoutzman represented the Old Third before losing the bid for the Senate. He is running for his old job again, but he's facing Tim Smith, a lawyer turned activist, Christian activist, and former Allen County Circuit Judge Wendy Davis. All right, so Stoutzman ran for Senate twice, lost in 2010 to Dan Coates, and in 2016 got crushed by Todd Young. All righty. For Indiana 5, this is the Victoria Sparks seat. She just jumped into the race like a couple weeks before the deadline, and she has a crowded field ahead of her. So that is yeah, it's just a district just north of Indianapolis. All right. Greg Pence, Indiana 6th, I believe. I don't have Indiana sixth up. I don't know why. I'll get it up. Yes, the brother, great, the former vice president. And Indiana 8, Larry Buchanan is retiring. A comeback for former Congressman John Hofstadter, who represented the old 8 without old Congressional District 8 before losing in the Democratic wave of 2006. The other candidates are Mark Messmer, Richard Moss, and former White House intern Dominic Kavanaugh of the Trump administration. This has been influenced by Israel. And then finally, the only competitive seat in Indiana's congressional delegation is Frank Mervin's seat. It's Lake County Councilman Randy Neimer is heavy favorite to win the GOP primaries. So that's all we got today for Indiana. We got just a bunch of congressional races. So yeah. All right. So polls have just closed here in Indiana. So let's get started. So we're waiting for the first results from the Indiana governor primary. I also have the presidential results up just to get a benchmark for this race. This is the first time I'm flying solo since Michigan, I believe. I think I've flown solo. This is only the second time I've flown solo this primary season. So you guys gotta stick with me for a little bit. So yeah, flying solo for the first time since February. So yeah, that is going. This is gonna be something. Hmm. That pepper's good. All right, so we are now waiting on the first results to come in from Indiana. We got some pretty competitive races here. I need to get the 6th district up. I don't know why I don't have it up. Um, Again, polls have closed. All right. Again, we're just waiting on the first results here, folks. They should be coming in very soon. Again, Indiana has 2 sets of poll closings. One set closes, most of the state closes at 6 Eastern. Another part, Gary, Indiana closes at 7. So we probably won't get any results anytime of any projections until 7. So we're going to be here for a while. So yeah. Alrighty. All right. Again, it was Indiana 8 years ago that gave Trump the nomination, as it made Ted Cruz drop out and John Kasich. Yeah. So we're just waiting on the first results. So we're just waiting on our first results here. So we should begin them around 10 after. So we got another 4 minutes or so. So it's going to be interesting with some of these open congressional primary races. It'll be definitely interesting to look at the 5th district. So the biggest district, the biggest race I'm looking at tonight is the 5th district of Indy, the 5th district of Indiana, which is could be some, so even though it's going to be some it's a crowded race, even though there's an incumbent running in Victoria Sparks. So the 6th district, the 5th. So we got some open races. Whoever wins all those, whoever wins in the 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 8th Republican primaries, obviously will most likely be the Congress person from that district in January. Indiana isn't really competitive. The 5th used to be competitive, but it was gerrymandered. So we are just now firmly waiting on the first results. So we are just now waiting on the first results, and we do have the first results, and it's out of Indiana. Mike Braun, the senator, has a lead of 45 to 18 to 17 to 13 here. So right now it is very early, but we do now have our first results. Mike Braun leads 45 to 18. Let's just say 45 to 19 to be let's just say 45 to 19. Oh, we got more results. All right, they're flowing in pretty quickly here. Braun now has an insane lead here in the it's Dubois County, and that is a huge amount of votes that just dropped. It's 45% of the vote just came in. 1% of the vote is in now. Braun leads 62 to 19. That does mean with results coming in, might now have some results in some of these congressional districts. And let's go over to the 6th congressional district. So this is the Pence seat. This is all right. So Jefferson Shreve leads Jamison Carrier in this open seat for the Pence seat, 32 to 20. Now in the 8th district, we have Mesmer ahead 74 to 7.3. Mesmer, this is not a bad good start for. This is looking pretty good for Mesmer if he's starting off that strong. Again, Mike Braun. We're getting more results. Let's go back up. Mike Braun is now lead has shrunk a little bit. Fort Wayne just came in. Mike Braun only winning by 19% here in Whitley County. But Mike Braun has a pretty big lead right now. And we got more results. Mike Braun, Steuben County. Braun's lead is starting to shrink a lot. So that means we are getting results from other congressional districts. Let's start with the 3rd district of Indiana. With the 3rd district in Whitley County, Andy Zay has a lead over Marlon Stoutman, 33% to 23%, 33.5 to 22.6. Tim Smith at 18.6. Wendy Davis at 17%. Let's go to the 6th district. Again, not a change from nothing changed from Arir Shervy leads 32 to 20 over Jameson Carrier. All right, Indiana's 8th district, same as last time. Mark Mesmer, with a huge lead. And big lead, more votes coming in for Braun. The Braun's lead is closing quickly. So Mike Braun's lead is continuing to shrink here. But again, we're getting a ton of results quickly here. We have not got anything from the first. We won't get it. Oh, we got results. Marlon Stotzman has taken the lead. Steuben County, 28-21 over Tim Smith. This is going to be a pretty interesting race. Oh, I did not switch over. So here we go. Here's the Indiana's third race. This is going to be a tight race, folks. All right. All right. Indiana's fifth. We have no results yet, but it is the northern suburbs of Indianapolis. But very north suburbs of Indianapolis. Again, it was gerrymandered in 22 to get rid of the northern suburbs of Indianapolis. So yeah, to make it less competitive. Here's the sixth. All right, share this tab. This is the 6th congressional district of Indiana. Jefferson Survive is looking pretty solid here in the 6th district of Indiana. All right, now we're going to the 8th. We have yet to see anything else come in from the 8th. So, all right, so we got a good. It is a pretty good start for Mike Braun. He leads by 22, but again, a lot of results that keep on coming in keeps on taking his vote total down. So, yeah, that's. How about let's check in on the presidential race, shall we? Because we have. So let's see here. Trump leads 77-22. I'm pretty sure Biden is uncontested in Indiana, so that's why I don't have the Biden race up, Biden's seat up, the primary there. And we got more results, and it is Braun's lead continues to shrink here in Indiana. And there we go. More Braun's lead is now 43-23. It's looking pretty good for Braun, but his vote share has dropped. Earlier, it was 51-20. So let's go back to the third district. We got more results. Andy Zay has taken a lead back in Indiana 3. And wow, it was Huntington County with a big drop for Zay. It was a 53-15 drop here. A big vote drop here in Huntington County for Andy Zay. All right, so let's go back to the 6th. Nothing in the 6th. And the 8th, Richard Moss and John Hostetler is starting to gain a little bit. Davies County, Mark Mesmer, obviously a big lead for him in so far, but it's in and I think it's in his. This is looking pretty solid for him as well. So Mesmer, and there we go. Braun's lead is now 18 points. Is now 16 points. We're getting a ton of results quickly here. Mike Braun, the senator from Indiana, his lead is collapsing. It was a 50. But you know who else was lead? But Brad Chambers just gained a ton of votes too. He just got a ton of votes in Hamilton County. That is the suburbs of Indianapolis. That is a big game for Brad Chambers. It puts it's two-way tie for second, so that is huge for Mike Braun as he continues to lose support. We have nothing yet from Hamilton County in the 5th district, but I assume we will get a vote drop there very quickly. Oh, wow. This is interesting right here. This is kind of interesting right here. Trump's lead is 73-26 in the Indiana presidential primary. Pretty interesting. And more of Evansville is coming in and Braun's lead. It's Knox County. Braun just got Crotch just got a ton of votes. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Crotch or whatever. It's Croach. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of. I don't want to say it's crotch, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced crotch. I don't want to. The Democratic primary again. Jennifer McCormick, uncontested, a former Republican. Indiana's 3rd district. We have a Jay County with a tie between Tim Smith and Marlon Stoltzman. Okay. All right, Indiana 5th. Victoria Sparks. All right, so we're watching Mike Braun. His lead is now down to 17 points, I gotta say, give or take. Yeah, we got a ton of vote in here. Let's look in the Indiana presidential race. It's Trump leads 75-25. All right, so Trump's lead is 75-25 here in the presidential race. Again, I'm just looking at benchmarks here. That's why but I'm not going to really focus on it, the presidential race much. Um, well, Mike Braun, I'm kind of worried about this early result here. The Boyd County gave him a ton of votes, but with that huge vote drop, but the rest, his lead has just been coming down ever since. We got another vote drop here in the Indiana's 3rd Congressional District. Let's see. It is Andy Zay, Marlon Stotzman, Tim Smith, Wendy Davis, and Grant Boucher, all within striking distance of each other. Wells County, Boucher leads 49-17 over Marlon Stotzman. So we have a pretty competitive race here in Indiana 3. Oh, crap. Hello, can you guys hear me? Um, can you guys hear me? All right, so all right, so we are going back to the 5th where we got more results here. Victoria Sparks' race is not looking good for. It's looking okay for her, but Goodrich is giving her a scare right now. Again, another race to watch. All right, back to the governor primary. We got a ton of vote coming in, and Braun is starting to gain votes again. He was a clear frontrunner in this race. And there we go, more votes gained for Braun. We probably won't get an auto call at poll at 7, but it might be close. And the 8th district, this is Messmer's lead continues to shrink. Here in Indiana 8. So my biggest races right now is the 3rd and 5th districts, which is where we have the competitive races there. So right now we got more results in the fifth. Sparks leads 40-32. This is going to be the closest race of the night. All right, so Braun looks pretty solid here. 8,000 votes ahead of Crotch. I don't know if it's pronounced Crotch or whatever it is. It's and more results here in the third. This is an interesting race. It is Stoutsman in the lead in LaGrange County. It's this is gonna be a close race. We are getting results quick in the third and fifth. The eighth and the sixth have been updated in a bit. Nothing is in from the first and the governors. Obviously, we get constant updates, but all right, we're getting more results here in the governor's race. Again, it's about 8,700 votes. It's about 7,900 votes here between Braun and Crotch. Okay, we got more results here in the eighth. And Messmer's lead continues to fall. All right, so Dante will be joining us. I just don't know when he will be joining us. So, all right. Again, we're watching this race right here. This is the most competitive race right now. Is the 3rd District of Indiana. Alrighty, so our most competitive race right here, right now, is Indy's A. And this race right here, where Several candidates are above 14%, at or above 14%. Going to be a close one here. Braun's lead continues to hover between 18 and 9, 17, 18%. Brad Chambers and Susanna Cronch combined could have tried to get rid of Braun, but what happened here? What the hell? Let me just get the primary back. All right. Alrighty, so we're here, and here's Dante. Hello, sir. Welcome back.
Hey, good to be back.
All right, so we're in the midst of a competitive congressional primary here in the 3rd Congressional District. We have several candidates over 14%. And so I don't know what the hell is going on. So I don't know what kind of, like, are these all local county kids or whatever? So please enlighten us here, because
What district?
this is the Indiana 3rd District.
All right, the Indiana third
This is the
district
bank's
Republican
seat.
primary. Yeah, this seat is largely viewed as having 4 major candidates. Jim Banks is retiring to run for Senate. The major candidates running in this seat include Marlon Stutzman, who represented this seat, the old version of the seat, the 2010s version, for 3 terms before running for Senate in 2016. He lost that primary to eventual Senator Todd Young. He is now running for his old job. There is also State Senator Andy Zay, Tim Smith, an insurance lawyer and Christian activist, and former Allen County Circuit Judge Wendy Davis. I don't know who Grant Butcher is, but he does have 14% right now, but I don't know who that is. But the top 4 currently, the 4 leading candidates. Yeah, I'm going to guess that right now Zay is in the lead based off a lot of districts coming out of his home turf. He is the only one of these candidates currently holding office. Uh, with that said, I would be surprised if he ultimately won. Zay is being outspent by quite a bit by everyone else. He's the only candidate not self-funding a campaign, which has put him in an awkward position.
Another race that we are having, another competitive race, is the Sparks race. Victoria Sparks obviously jumped into her re-election bid like pretty late, so that's why she is having this crowded primary. But it looks like, since jumping back in, it looks like it's just a 1v1 here between Goodrich and her.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few other candidates in this race. Some members of the House leadership have supported Max Engling, who worked briefly in Kevin McCarthy's office, and there's a couple other candidates. Raju Chinthla around 8% right now. Mark Hurt around 4%. A couple other candidates, but yeah, in general, Sparts is the leading candidate, and Goodrich is her most serious challenger on the back of his self-funding.
All right, so let's go over some of our races here. In the 6th, this is the Pence race. Survive, or however you say that, he leads pretty distantly over Mike Speedy, and it is. I'm assuming he was the front runner the whole time.
Yeah, so Shrivi is coming off a run for mayor of Indianapolis last year. He is very wealthy. Mike Speedy is a local state legislator. They have been the leading candidates, although Jameson Carrier, who has also spent quite a bit of his own money on this race, currently has 17%. There's a couple other candidates who largely never really had much of a chance of winning. I believe Jameson Carrier has also been endorsed by Vivek. Speedy and Shreve have kind of been in the moderate conservative lane. Shreve did take some pretty moderate positions while running for mayor, but he also has spent the most money on this race, although Speedy has benefited from outside spending on his behalf.
All right, and the next one is the 8th district of Indiana. This is the uh Bishon seat. So Mark Messmer has a big lead. So
Yeah, currently pretty early here, but Messner is a state senator, and I would guess a lot of his territory is right now reporting. Richard Moss, surgeon in second. He is endorsed by Bob Good, who is the chair of the House Freedom Caucus. Then you have former Congressman John Hostedler. He represented the seat for a few years in the early 2000s, or what was the seat back then. Lost in 2006 because this was once a competitive seat. He lost to Brad Ellingsworth. Ellingsworth later lost the seat in 2010, retired to run for Senate in 2010 and lost. And ever since then, this seat has become pretty reliably red. Hostletter and Messner have gotten pretty hard on each other throughout this campaign. Some pro-Israel groups have spent pretty hard against Hostletter, who a few years ago back wrote a book, who has a pretty libertarian streak, and a few years ago wrote a book that I think was viewed as having using several anti-Semitic tropes. I don't know much more about it outside of that. And there's also Dominic Kavanaugh, a young former Trump White House intern, uh, family trust fund, supporting his
and I'm
big yield
assuming
of
there's no
11%.
relation between him and the Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh.
None that I know of.
All right.
It's a pretty common name.
I mean, it's not that common, but
Yeah, there's no relation that I know of.
the governor's race, its bronze lead has been decreasing the whole day. So this has been a pretty competitive day for second, and Braun leads pretty handily here. But can you explain why there's a tense battle for second?
Governor Holcomb is termed out. Mike Braun, as a sitting U.S. senator and a very personally very wealthy senator with a Trump endorsement, was always going to be the heavy favorite, and it does look like he's up. He's pretty well situated in this race. But all of the other candidates running against him have raised quite a bit of money too. They include the sitting lieutenant governor Suzanne Crouch, who's currently second. Brad Chambers is the former Secretary of Commerce, the former State Secretary of Commerce, and then businessman Eric Doden, who's had some roles in big public economic developments. There's also the former State Attorney General Curtis Hill, who's in last place with under 4% of the vote right now. Never was very serious chance of winning this, but he is notable for having lost his reelection in 2020 in the Republican primary after it came out that he groped a number of different women at the same party in one night.
Dude.
He also briefly lost his law license while being attorney general, and hilariously, it was for reasons completely unrelated to groping those women. So, not never a serious contender to win, but it is interesting to see him, and he clearly not doing very well. Like I don't even know, he's behind some lady I've never even heard of. So
So Braun is pretty situated here. So I have also been keeping tabs on the presidential primary to see as a benchmark here, because obviously Haley is on the ballot in every state, I'm pretty sure. But I've been keeping a benchmark on this race since Trump has been consistently not been getting over 80% in some of these races. So I'm just keeping this as I'm just keep on looking at this for benchmark purposes. But it's worth noting that he is at 75% right now. So we have not have anything in the first, but you said that this shouldn't really be a
uh,
competitive primary here.
no, I mentioned it because it'll be competitive in November, but the primary is not competitive. Randy Niemeyer should run away with the Republican primary here.
All
He's got
right,
the support
so
of basically every group. His opponents are just perennial candidates. Mark Levia was the nominee basically every year for this district when it wasn't competitive. But now that it's mildly competitive, he has no chance of winning a Republican primary.
the
Yeah,
results
no.
has results have really slowed down here. Oh nope, we got results in the sixth. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Shervie here. I think we could be getting a call as soon as 7 o'clock Eastern hits because I'm assuming they're just waiting until the entire state closes.
Yeah, I don't think
And
every part of the state closes, and that's probably why we haven't gotten anything from Indiana 1 or 2 yet.
oh wow, we just got a county that is uh this is Wayne County, Indiana. Jeff Ratz is crashing carrier in Cervi. What is was he on your radar at all, Dante?
Jeff Rath,
Yes.
he is a state senator.
All right. We
And
do.
then John Jacobs actually a former state rep, and then actually Bill Fra- I found out while doing a little extra research. I didn't write this on the original document. Bill Frazier was like a state rep in like the 1960s.
How old is this motherfucker?
I don't know. He's run for a lot of offices since then, and I don't know who Darren Shelters is. He's just a random dude.
I mean, a random dude beat Biden in a primary in
There's
American
actually
Samoa.
another candidate in this race. Seemed like he could have been a pretty serious contender, but he was removed from the ballot for signature issues. So
Hmm. I mean, a random dude beat Biden in American Samoa, so anything could happen. All right, so we got a little bit of update here in Indiana 9. No, this is not Indiana 9. Indiana 8. This is a um Mesmer's lead continues to drop. Hostetler is in third right now, but again, very early. We still have yet to get a ton of the population centers around Evansville to come in, which I'm assuming would probably help Hostetler. I'm thinking probably because I'm assuming Evansville is Hostetler's base, but I could be wrong here. Braun's lead continues to drop, but it might not be enough because Chambers and Crouch.
yeah, I mean, for all of Braun's name recognition, all three of the candidates currently behind him also spent millions of dollars. This was a high money race, despite not ever being particularly competitive.
Yeah, Braun. I'm surprised Braun is not doing that good right now. He's only getting about 37%.
Much of yeah, it was hard. It's difficult to attack Braun, who's endorsed by Trump, but most of it is focused on some comments he made after the killing of George Floyd in 2020, where he briefly suggests where he expressed support for the Black Lives Matter movement. I actually believe he might have marched with Black Lives Matter protesters, and actually was briefly one of a few Republicans who joined all the Democrats in supporting an end to qualified immunity for police officers. Braun has since walked back those comments, but that's been the main line of attack on him, especially because the other candidates have accused him of being inconsistent on crime, which is obviously a big issue for Republicans.
I still am confused why he decided to leave the Senate to run for governor. With,
A lot of people hate being in the Senate.
I mean, Mitch McConnell's been there for so long.
Yeah, there were rumors about Braun not being particularly in love with the job during basically going back to him getting sworn in. It wasn't a huge shock to me when I heard he was running for he was about to run for governor.
Yeah, he was recruited to try to face Donnelly, so he was recruited by Trump to run against Donnelly, and it worked. But
He spent most of his lifetime being a very wealthy businessman. So it's funny because he's actually a former Democrat, And assuming he wins this primary, the Democratic nominee is a former Republican. So
McCormick left the Republican Party because of J6, right?
yeah, McCormick was in fact elected to public office in Indiana as a Republican. She was superintendent of public education there. There's a reason that some Democrats are kind of excited around by her, although she's probably not going to have much of a chance at winning in November or even making it all that close. Indiana's just become too red. But certainly, a lot of Democrats spent a lot of time recruiting her to run. Braun's only real experience in politics before being elected to Senate was a few years in the state house. I don't even think he served a full term.
We got about 5 minutes until the polls close in Indiana 1. We should be getting a lot more results as soon as it hits 7 Eastern. Because we could get... Is there any real primary threats to any other incumbents?
Today, no.
The 6 has become pretty close here. So I still think Cherie is going to win, but it has gotten pretty close over the last few minutes. Especially with Rats, with Cherie coming in third here in Wayne County. Alright, we got more results coming in from the seat here in southern Indiana. This is the 8th. Mesmer's lead continues to shrink. Missner is second in Sullivan. Moss is for second in Knox, followed by Hostetler. And Davies, Moss is in second, followed by Kavanaugh, with Mesmer far ahead. And Dubois, this is a huge lead for Mesmer.
Just learned that Curtis Hill ran in the special election in Indiana too after Jackie Walorski passed away.
Didn't get anywhere. Yakum won.
Yeah, he was the runner-up in the primary, but was still about 30 points behind that Yakum. Also in that race was Christy Stutzman, the wife of the former congressman running for his old seat. She came in fourth.
Indiana 2.
There was a time where this might have been a more interesting race. There was initially when it became clear that it was going to be an open seat, there were some very real rumors about Mitch Daniels, the former governor, running again for his old job, but ultimately declined to do so. He also nearly ran for Senate.
Yeah, Chris Hill got 23%. Christy Stutzman got 7 in that special.
Well, it was almost like a convention special because Warlowski died during the general election, so they needed to throw
Yeah, it
that
was a
out there quick.
caucus result.
Right now, Hill only has one notable endorsement in the governor's race, and that is Mike Flynn.
Of course it is.
Not doing much for him with only 3.5% here.
We got some more results here in the... This is the third. This is the bank seats. We got a couple ties here. We have This is in where's Wells County? There's this is a tie between Smith and Stockton. I'm pretty sure whoever wins Allen County might could. All right. The six. No. It's exactly a 16-point lead here in the Indiana governor's race for Braun. I'm just we have not getting out anything from Marion or Lake yet, so I'm assuming they will probably come in at 7.
Not as big a lead for Braun as maybe some people expected.
Yeah, I'm assuming, and it is about to become 7 in the East, so we should be getting results pretty fast soon. More results pretty fast. All right, it's now 7 in the East, so we should be getting some calls soon here.
Realman miss Pete Visklowski.
So Bolts goes in the first. So we're waiting on that to start coming in. That will probably be our first call. And there it is. Braun just got declared the winner for the governor's race here with 11% in.
Wow. A little surprising considering I thought his lead was lower than expected, but no real shifts right now.
Yeah, it's
His lead
been
has remained pretty secure, and he will be
his,
the next governor of Indiana now.
yeah, his lead has been shifting between 16 and 16 and a half points for about 30 minutes. So not a surprise here, but lower than expected. All right. Oh wow. Um, Missner has Luke Missner has won a county in Indiana's 8th, or leads a county in Indiana's 8th. It's Sullivan County. Mashmer is losing to Luke Missner, who is at 4.8% here. Wow. Okay. Richard Moss and John Hostetler are still behind, still very early here in this race. But that's our first call. Mike Braun wins, and he is now leading by 17 points here. So Mike Braun wins his race for governor. And I'm assuming they have called it for Trump. Yes, they have, and he has won 31 delegates so far. in Indiana's primary. I'm assuming you'll probably get all the delegates, but you'll never know. Um, so I think Braun might win every county, but
Yeah, that certainly looks likely as of right now. Not only is he winning all of them right now, none of them are particularly close.
so we got some close races, and all the very big. I just posted the governor's race, I believe. So we just have our congressional races left. So let's start with the third right quick. Oh wow, we got a ton of drop votes here. We got uh, Stutzman now only down 6 points. We have yet to get anything from Fort Wayne itself, so that's we have yet to get anything from Indianapolis. I'm gonna actually look at the state result and look at what else is out, what else is going on in Indiana. So Frank Mervin and Andy Yakum won his race. Uh, Andre Carson is facing an opponent, but I don't think it'll be close. The seventh district won't be close. It's a Democratic block. Um, Buchan is ahead pretty decently over her opponent. Um, Bayard, I might need to be looking at this a little bit. Bayard is at 65%. We might need to look at it if it falls like under 50. I might actually look at this race. Um, if Bayard gets under 60%, that might be something to talk about. So let's continue to drop from Mesmer here. Every county that he's winning, he's also losing ground. So again, he's losing pretty big ground there. So I'm now looking at the sixth district to see the possibility of it maybe falling under 60, but it looks pretty good for Jim Bayard here. The third district, first, no results there. Nothing from the sixth. Oh, okay. We just got dropped in Indiana. It's Fort Wayne just came in. Wendy Davis takes the lead. When
No,
gets
no, she does not.
not the lead, but he leads the county. And look at
Marlon
that.
Stutzman takes the lead.
Stutzman takes the lead for the district.
Actually,
Wow.
Zay falls all the way. Terrible
Oh,
for both Zay and Butcher. Butcher now is under 10% after being around 15% earlier. And Zay falls all the way to fourth, with it basically almost being a three-way tie between Davis, Stutzman, and Smith. Smith, it's worth noting, just check the Wikipedia page. This is not something that was in my original, but he ran for mayor of Fort Wayne back in 2019.
This is very close. We have basically four-way tie here. 600 votes separates Stutzman and Zay.
Yeah, it looks like Butcher has fallen back quite a bit now.
Butcher is, even though he won a county, well, he leads a county, might not win it. So that is pretty quick, and that was a
Seems,
huge
seems,
drop here.
seems like there is still some stuff from Zay's home court that could help him, but I
Yeah,
don't know. Not all of the results are in from Allen, and there's still other
yeah.
stuff,
Allen
including
committed
including
did
this
huge.
northern part of the district that still appears to be Stutzman territory.
That was a huge drop for Stutzman there. Even though he's not winning the county, it dropped Andy Zay all the way down to third, even though Zay was in the lead for most of the night. Okay, we got a ton of votes just came in from the District 8. Hostetler has Vermilion County in his corner right now, 26 to 20 to 18. Mesmer's lead is 43 to 15 to 14.
Yeah,
But
Mesmer's in pretty strong control right now. It looks like, of course, there's still a decent amount of results to come in, but
yeah, Vanderborough County is still nothing in. That's the city of Evansville.
this is where Vigo County is.
Yeah, the historically Bell County hasn't been a Bell since 20. Historically Bell It voted wrong in 2020, I believe.
Yeah, and it probably will vote wrong again in 2024. Well, not probably, but if Biden wins,
Yeah, it's no longer a Bell.
it's now a red county.
Yeah, Obama won it in 2012. Yeah, Mesmer's lead is insane here, and in his home turf here. So Dom Kavanaugh is in fourth. Hostetler and Moss are battling out for second.
See what happens when Evansville and the surrounding area starts to come down.
Yeah.
It does seem like the spending. Mesmer was the beneficiary. I talked about Hostletter dealing with some spending against him by pro-Israel groups. Well, the candidate that many of them ultimately chose to support was Mesmer.
So right here's Sparks. He leads by 8 points. It looks like he's in a pretty good spot, but the third district is definitely the one we're probably going to be watching for a while. Looking over here, Cervi, his lead continues to drop. Carrier, even though he has not won the county yet, lead the county yet. It's
Possibly also worth noting about Hostletter is that he barely raised any money. Like both Moss and Kavanaugh self-funded, but both of them raised more money than he did.
Hostler thought that his name rank would carry him alone.
Well, no, actually, he was never considered a particularly strong candidate. If you go back to the 2006 loss, it's actually kind of embarrassing. He lost by 22. Even in a
Didn't
blue wave, as an incumbent to lose by 22 points, he didn't even receive
wasn't he
40.
like? Didn't he have like a scandal or something in
No, he did
06?
not. No, he had no scandal.
Oh Jesus! All right.
I mean, you can look at people who did better than him in 2006. Rick Santorum, Mike DeWine, both received higher percentages of the vote.
I'm looking at 06. We had some
But he was never considered a
Indiana.
good fundraiser.
Indiana was uh very big for Democrats that year. They took the majority of the seats that year in '06.
Indiana was once a legitimately could be called a swing state.
It was a swing state back in the 1800s too. This year in '06, it was the election of Joe Donnelly. Brad Ellsworth destroyed Hostetler. Um, and Baron Hill defeated Mike Sodrell. Hill and Sodrell actually swapped the district several times in the 2000s. That was the 9th district. The 8th was the Hostetler's. The Indiana 2, that's what Chris Chacoa, which is now Yakum's seat. So, yeah, that was the election for Donnelly to get into Congress too.
Both Donnelly and Ellingsworth would later run for Senate, but only one of them became a senator.
And Donnelly lost to Braun in 18.
In that 2010 Senate primary, where Ellingsworth would ultimately go on to lose the general election, both Hostetler and Stutzman ran for that Senate seat. Stutzman came in second, Hostetler came in third in the Republican primary. So, a lot of connections between some of these guys.
Why did I get governors? It was the class 3 seat, right? The Young seat.
That was the Young seat, but 2010.
Yeah, Ellsworth lost by 14 to Coates.
And then if
Oh,
you go down
looking
to
at
the
the primary here, Coates won
you can,
everywhere but
you can
Hostetler and Stutzman's home turf.
well, and you can really see Hostetler's stone turf quite clearly. You can see
Yeah,
Stutzman's success in the northeast county, and then Hostetler all over in the southwest.
yeah. Don Bates Jr. and like Coates won by 10. And the only polling done, which was the week before the primary, had Hostetler in second, Stutzman in third, with Coates in a decent lead there.
Although Hostetler and Stutzman both had some notable endorsements. Looking
Yeah,
at Hostetler,
Hostetler
here's
had
Ron Paul and Mike and Dick, former House Majority Leader Dick Armey, and Stutzman, Mike Huckabee, and Jim DeMint.
and Son Sauder, Mike Sauder, the congressman.
Oh, and Tom Decreto for Hostetler. Later left the Republican Party and
He
did
ran
some
for
of his own
president on '08.
did some weird stuff as a Constitution Party guy in Colorado. Hostetler actually briefly left the Republican Party after losing for the Constitution Party. Yeah, he endorsed their presidential candidate in '08 over McCain. He's got a bit of a history as a kind of out of the box character.
Speaking of out of the box, we talked. I sent you something about what's his name from Illinois. Damn,
Dan Lipinski.
Lipinski. Yeah, he's in the American Solidarity Party now, which is which that party's pretty. I know that party because I've been in this business for a while, but it's a pretty obscure party. Isn't it's pretty obscure if I'm not wrong. American Solidarity Party. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm gonna see. Hmm. They've only been on the ticket for the last 3 elections. They got 6,600 votes in 2016. 4 years ago, it got 42,000 votes. So, I mean, it's pretty obscure though. Um, and yeah, this party's pretty obscure. Um, foreign policy non-interventionist. So basically, the people who didn't want funding for Ukraine and Israel, they probably would have voted no for that aid package. Electoral reform, and they endorsed RCV, which is pretty interesting. Economic, they have universal health care, so uh, worker ownership, and right. Social issues, they oppose abortion, the death penalty, and euthanasia, which is oh, okay, that is euthanasia. Yeah, that's intentionally committing not alive by a doctor. Okay, I didn't know what that was, and they have
What did you
symptom.
say? Assisted suicide. It's legal in several states now.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I
Americans
believe
sold
most.
their. I said on the live because I do not want to get
Yeah, several Democrats now support that as well. It's no, it's a
yeah,
it's a medical term. It's you're not going to get in too much trouble for
yeah,
that.
euthanasia. Oh, euthanasia. That's what it is.
Yeah, no,
And then
several. It's common, but when it's legal, it's common for people who have a life, a fatal disease
yeah, like
that ultimately when their health drops to a point where they no longer enjoy, being alive, but they haven't died yet.
yeah,
Several people will make the choice. I've known a couple people who have made the choice to
yeah.
end it
So
early rather than continue to suffer.
apparently,
So
Brian
it's
Carroll, the guy that ran in 2020 for the party to presidential, ran against Nunes and got 1,500 votes. Pretty, pretty interesting there.
yeah, it's still a new idea, but one that's gaining
Yeah,
support in several states. I believe it was recently legalized.
yeah. It was founded in 2011, 13 years ago.
It's actually called it was legalized in California. I was thinking just a few years ago. The official name is Legal Medical Aid in Dying or MAID, but it's legal now in Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Montana, New Mexico, Maine, Vermont, New Jersey, and DC.
Hmm. Apparently, the people. This is part of Christian democracy. Is basically what this is about, which is basically what it's centered around. So apparently, people like that are here are like popes and stuff under the people section of the American Solidarity. It has like popes and stuff like John Paul, Leo, Pius, or a lot of Italian people and popes. And in 2016, the ASP got on the ballot in all were write-ins in the 10 states. They realistically were on enough ballots that they could have gotten to 70, and they were, which is pretty interesting. In 2020, they were on the ballot in Illinois, Wisconsin, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Colorado, and Vermont, but they were able to get write-ins in enough states that where they could have gotten 270 again. So again, pretty obscure party, but they've been gaining momentum here. All right, so looking at some of these results here, we got
Oh, we have a Suzanne Crouch leads in Vandenberg with Evansville.
oh wow, all right,
I just looked it up, and the final tally on spending for the governor's race, not including money from outside groups, which is a big amount, is 45.3 million.
hmm.
A lot of money for a race that did not end up being all that competitive.
A race that is competitive is the third district of Indiana, where we have a very close race here. We have a 4,400 votes for Stutzman, 4,100 for Davis, 4,000. Let's just say 4,000 for Smith, 3,800 for Zay. It's pretty close, damn close here.
This is actually
Uh,
this Indiana gubernatorial primary is the sixth most expensive primary, governor primary in the history of the U.S.
the history.
Yeah, it's the gubernatorial primary number six all time,
The hell? Just for primaries?
just for governor primaries. Yes, both parties.
What's the top five?
Uh, I'll Google it. Sure, I can find it somewhere. Probably a little more recent.
What?
It's the most expensive primary in Indiana state history, just in general.
Yeah, I assume that. That is pretty insane. I believe we have not gotten. So Evansville is in right now, right?
It's coming in some races, yeah.
All right. So it has not come in the the eighth
No,
district. In the eighth district Republican Party, we yet to get anything from Evansville, but in the Democrat, Palsy County came in with only 8% in right now. Oh, there comes Palsy County for the Republicans. Hostetler leads that county. Oh, and Vigo, Mesmer leads by a lot. So again, that is and Dante left. All right, we have here. Okay, Andy Zay just took back second place in Indiana 3. We have, I don't know, we had a ton of Huntington County come in. Andy Zay has the lead for second place narrowly. Look at this. This is 80 votes. In between saying between Smith and Davis is 160. So Stutzman is this is very this is pretty damn close. So one of those nights here, if you're in Indiana, is one of those nights if you want to know about it'll be a pretty uh freeway heating pad. Dude, that's actually crazy. Yes. July 20. So we are again. This is a pretty close race here in Indiana's third. Oh, Mesmer's lead just expanded here in Indiana. 8. Looking at Indiana 6, Jim Bayard leads 66-24. I was just watching that race to see if Bayard would fall under 60. He's at 66, so this race in Indiana's 6 is starting to get a little bit close. Um, it's back and forth for Sparks over and under 40. she should win that race. So we have basically a 400 vote race between 400 votes separates first and fourth. So Hurry's we have a call, I believe. All right. We have yet to get anything from the first district of Indiana. Should be called as soon as it gets results. So and Jim Bayard wins the Republican primary for Indiana 6, but 4, sorry, not Indiana 6, Indiana 4, which is just east of Indianapolis. Just south of Gary, just east of Indianapolis is a pretty big district. Evansville just came in. Hostetler leads Vanderburgh County. Vanderburgh County has dropped. Again, Evansville just dropped. Hostetler leads and that leads in Vanderburgh County 35-27. Okay, so first results are in from the first district of Indiana. Lake County just came in. Gary Limer leads 66-22-12. Not surprising. Okay, Andy Zay is now with. Look, what is this? This is close. Hostetler has called into second place here in Indiana. He narrowly leads by 5 votes in Vanderburgh County. However, my main focus right now is Indiana Free. Again, first, fuck whoever is watching Tornado Sam. That guy sucks. Oh. Okay. Oh, whoa. Zay just took the lead in Indiana in this district. What is going on? This race is going crazy. Jay County just came in for Marwin Stutchman, and then Andy Zay just got a big vote drop from Whitley and Huntington, putting him in the lead. Indiana Free is getting crazy here. I'll be live as long as I want to. This is going to be a very long night. All right, Wells County is 100% in, and Grant Boucher won that county. This is some weird race. A guy that's getting 8% won a county over someone who is getting 20%. That is something. Blackford County, he hasn't dropped. Neither has Adams, DeKalb, or Noble. Indiana Free is getting pretty shaky here. And Indiana 6 is also getting pretty shaky. The 8th, it's a pretty good idea that Mesmer will probably win this race. Jim Bayard won real nomination. But again, I'm just watching to see if he falls under 60%. Remember, this is our first of 8 straight weeks of live primary coverage. So if you want dedication, you got it here, folks. And it looks like we are slowed down again. Nothing has come in the last few minutes. All right, so Dante is having Wi-Fi issues. Understandable. I have those a lot. All right. We might be in for a long night here. I might be in for a long night here because we have 3 very close races here. A 4th, it is semi-competitive, but it looks like we might get a call there. Another one, I'm just watching this benchmark basically for Jim Bayard. Again, I have 8 straight weeks of streams. Next week. Oh no. All right. So apparently we're not getting a lot of results because of yet from some of these counties because there's some tornadoes going on. So that might be there's storms going on. So yeah. No way, they're right here. No way, bro. That's crazy. All right, so we have storm issues going on in Indiana. All right, this is very close. Don't know why it's close, but what does Rob the Make Great Butcher gain votes? Where did he gain votes from? Where did Dog gain votes from? All right, so we have 5 candidates over 10% now. Okay, so Mesmer has taken the lead in Palsy County. Vanderburgh County, it is Hostetler leading. Hostetler leads only in the Evansville proper. This is looking like Mesmer is going to win this race and become a congressman from Indiana. So we're looking at the 5th, 6th, and 3rd here. Let's look at the 5th right quick. So it's a very Cervi and Carrier and Speedy all in a very close race here. And the 5th, Spart's still not looking very good for. We still have yet to get votes from Delaware, Tipton, or Howard counties in Indiana. 5, and Stutzman just took the lead back in Indiana's 3rd. He leads by a point now. This is one competitive race. All right, so okay, so Tim Smith has taken the lead in county. This is crazy. All right. So 41% in. All right, so let's go over our races to watch tonight. In Indiana 3rd, 41% in. In the 5th, 27% in. In the 6th, 36% in. In the 8th, 43% in, with potential call coming very soon. In the 4th, 21% in with a call with Jeremy Bayard winning. And in the 1st, obviously, not Nehemiah will probably win that race. So it's 10% in there as well. So we are again, very waiting on these results here. So if you guys are wondering what's my schedule for next week. So next week is on the schedule for the next few weeks. So all right, so what's on my schedule today? What's next week's schedule? I'll tell you guys. All right, so today we have obviously Indiana. We already had Pennsylvania, Alabama, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, Mississippi, Texas, North Carolina, California, Arkansas, Alabama. We already had those. Next week we have Maryland, Nebraska, and West Virginia. And then in 2 weeks we have Georgia, Idaho, Kentucky, Oregon. May 28th we have a Texas runoffs, which I will be streaming. And then the next week, Iowa, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, and South Dakota on Super Juniors Day. Right, and then June 11th we have Maine, Nevada, North Dakota, and South Carolina. On June 18th we have Oklahoma and Virginia, along with Georgia runoffs. Then on June 25th, we have Colorado, New York, South Carolina runoffs, and Utah. We have a month break for July, and then on August 1st, I will be live for the Tennessee races. And then August 6th, we have Arizona, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, Washington. August 10th, we have Hawaii. I might stream Hawaii because why the fuck not? And then Connecticut, Minnesota, South Dakota, Vermont, and Wisconsin. Oh, Connecticut, Minnesota, Vermont, and Wisconsin on August 13th. August 20th, we have Alaska, Florida, and Wyoming. August 27th is Oklahoma runoffs. I might stream. September 3rd, we have Delaware, Massachusetts. I will stream. And then our final stream for the primary season will be New Hampshire, Rhode Island. And then November 5th, I will stream for Election Day. Since there's no important Georgia races or Louisiana races, I will not be streaming either runoffs. So yeah, that's what's been going on. That's the rest of the calendar for you guys. All right, so we are still getting results here. It's Indiana, Indiana's third here. We have a pretty competitive race. Like I don't think it'll be called anytime soon, even though there's 44% in. Don't think this is going to be called anytime soon. All right, in the fifth, we now got votes now in Delaware County, Indiana, in the Indiana 5th district. It is Sparks leading pretty close there. Sparks could absolutely lose this race. Well, but it's not likely. Indiana 6th, looking very good here for Survive, but again, it's anyone's race. Oh, Marion County just came in. Shreve leads 38-30. That's a huge game for Shreve. It just dropped right now. Oh, Rats leads in Randolph. All right. So in the eighth, we're just getting. They're just. They're about to call that race probably. But again, our main race right now is the 3rd district of Indiana. All right. 50% in Indiana 6. Um, Indiana 8, 47% in. Christie Risk wins as leading in Willen County. Wow. In Indiana. This is in Indiana's 8. All right, I'm just going to give you updates for the primaries. Trump 78-21 in the Indiana primary presidential. That is a 52 delegates for Trump. He is carrying Marion County, not by a lot. All right, for the U.S. Senate, Valerie McRae easily wins her race there. Jim Bates unopposed. Mike Braun, he has 49%. Chambers to Crouch is 21. Chambers 17. Doden 13. So it is Evans, Vanderburgh County, Crouch is 51, and then Spencer Crouch is 49. The Marion County, Braun Chamber is leading Chambers by a couple of points. And Mesmer just got declared the winner. Mark Mesmer has won his race here, defeating John Hostetler, the former congressman, and Richard Moss, and Derek Kavanaugh. Mark Mesmer wins in Indiana 8. So that's our first race to be called. Mark Mesmer wins the Indiana 8 Republican primary. So yeah, that's our first big race call here. All right, so let's now go over to Indiana 3rd right quick. We got more results there. And look at this. Tim Smith now leads Wayne County. So Dante's internet is still having trouble, but he'll be back next week. We, but looking at Indiana free. So Tim Smith now leads Allen County. Next wins the what the fuck? All right, so the third is looking. Tim Smith was in fourth. Now he's in second. All right. Oh boy, Sparks. It's still not looking good for Sparks. All right, so looking at Indiana free, this is close. Whoa. Okay. Um. All right. So the Raiders' results are Adams Day is gaining, Smith and Stoutsman dropped. Wow. All right. All right, y'all. Here's what I'm gonna do. Um, Obviously, we're not gonna get any calls anytime soon, so I'm gonna take a 15-minute break for dinner. Take a 15-minute break for dinner. And I'll give us a fifth. I'll take a 15 minute. I'll take a 15-minute break for dinner because we're obviously not going to get any calls anytime soon. So I'll be right back. I'll be back in 15. Hey guys, I'm just back to give you guys a little update. We got a ton of votes coming in very quickly, so I'm gonna eat dinner right quick, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes probably. But I'm just gonna give you a rundown of what's happening. Me and a third, we have a close race, 68% in between today. As Dutchman leads by 400 votes. In the fifth, the incumbent Chuck Goodrich, the primary challenger, she leads by 5. Indiana 6. It's a 8-point lead for Jefferson Kirby. It's a 4 vote difference for second between Speedy and Carrier. Clearly a 4 vote. Yeah. There's been no projection, so I'll be back in about 5-10 minutes for continued coverage. All right, so we're back. So, um, welcome back, everyone. So I'm gonna go over back to the third congressional district. Look how close this is. Grant Boucher has won Adams County. That's crazy. All right, so Statsman, Smith, Zay, and Boucher have won all counties. Davis has yet to win a county. Before break, the big bomb to drop was that Smith took the lead in Allen County, which voted him from fourth to second, and just 400 votes behind Stoutsman in first. Let's go over to the fifth. That's what 73% in. With 57% in the fifth, Sparks leads Goodrich by 3,000 votes. Not a good performance, but she is winning. In the sixth, pretty consistent. Chervy leads 29 to 22. And in the first, Randy Myanmar leads. Not surprising. He should be declared a winner soon. So here we go. So ton of vote is now fully in here. So what's fully in? So Randolph County, it's 87 in. Jay County, 100%. Blacksburg County, 92. 100% in Adams, 100% in Wells, 100% in Huntington, 94 in Whitley, 54 in Allen, 84 in DeKalb, 69 in Steuben, 11 in LaGrange, and Cossack County. It is 66. So, even though it's close, Marlon Stoutsman should definitely still be considered favorite here. Uh-oh. My candy fell. Andre Carson wins handily in Indiana 7. Oh, vote drop here in Indiana. Tim Smith, it's a 0.7 now difference here. Getting this load. All right. Oh, whoa! Chuck Goodrich has gained a county in Indiana 5. Delaware County 100% in. Goodrich wins it by 40 votes. 69% in. Hamilton County is the only one that's is the one that's mostly out now. The rest is 92 in Grand, 91 in Howard, 79 in Tipton, 43 in Hamilton, 86 Madison, 100% in Delaware. All right, so and we got projection. Randy Nyamar has been projected the winner in Indiana 1. It's a Republican primary. So we're just down to our competitive races left here. So let's go over them. Indiana's third. We just got an update here. It's Stutzman expands his lead to to 500 votes. In the fifth, again as you saw, Sparks leads by 6.1. With the Hamilton drop, her lead expanded. We are still waiting on Howard, more from Tipton, Hamilton, Madison, but Grant, Howard, and are almost in. Plus Delaware is 100% in. And finally, Indiana 6. We have a carrier lead in County. All right, so it's a 28 to 22 to 20 lead for Jefferson Survive here in Indiana 6. We're about 2.5 hours after the polls closed here. All right, folks. So we are waiting on more results here. Again, I'm not leaving until we have a call because this is a pretty close race. What is this shit, man? And we have a projection. Victoria Sparks wins renomination. We got a call. Victoria Sparks wins renomination in Indiana 5. So you had a close race. She had a little bit of a scare, but she wins renomination. But she had a little bit of a scare, but she wins renomination. So we're just down to the 6th and 3rd here in Indiana. Obviously, my key focus right now is Indiana 3rd, which has a very close ass race here. I'm not going to forget about Indiana 6, but right now Indiana 3rd is the closest of the two. 500 vote lead for Stoutsman, the former congressman. Again, Indiana free. Stoutsman leads, but narrowly. We're just waiting to see how we have 66,000 votes coming in this primary here in Indiana free. So yeah, we got all right. So we just got an update in Indiana 6. So let's go over there. So again, Sharif continues to lead by about 7 points. We have yet to get a call, but I'm assuming if they called Sparks' race with less in, if this is a bigger margin than the Sparks race. So I'm assuming they may call this race soon, and we'll just all we have left is Indiana free. So let's go back to Indiana free, where let's go over what we have left. So we'll start here. Randolph County, we still have 13% vote left. That's going to benefit Smith. All right, J County, it's 100% in, benefits Smith. All right, Blackford, it so nothing is going to come in for Smith from J County. Blackford, one more vote drop for Smith left here. All right, Adams County, 100% in. Nothing for the top two is going to come in. Wendy Dave, and then Wells County, 100% in. Nothing is going to come in for Stoutman or Zay. Boucher will obviously not win this primary. All right, Huntington, this is big. Andy Zay capitalized it on early which he had a lead in it, and the whole primary, the whole seat district, but obviously that's falling apart. Then up here, Whitley County, 100% in. Looks like Zay may be done for the night. All right, over here, the biggest vote area, biggest amount of votes are in Allen County. Smith leads here. Marlon Stoutsman and Wendy Davis both close here. This could go either way. Anyone can carry this county, but it may benefit. But who will benefit more, Stoutsman or Smith? All right, DeKalb County, 16% in. Obviously, will benefit Smith, Stoutsman. All right, up here, Stoutsman leads by 3 over Smith in Steuben County. In LaGrange County, we have nothing, 11% in here. A ton of vote by benefit Stoutsman. I don't know. Mobile County, no one has got any votes here. Cotsacu County, Stoutsman will obviously gain votes here. So all in all, we still have a very, very intense close race here in Indiana's 3rd district. And we might get an update soon here in Indiana 6. We may get a projection here in Indiana 6 soon. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're close to a projection there. So that all would be left is here Indiana 3, where we're still waiting on some results. All right, so we got another update here in Indiana 6. Uh, again, don't understand why they have not called this race yet. With 79% in, their survey is leading more than what Sparks was in her race. So we will get a project. Survey will probably be the winner of this race. And we got another update. 80% in. Back to the third. I'm gonna see what Wasserman is saying about this Indiana 6 race. Oh, okay. So we just gotta drop Noble County. Just dropped all of its votes, which gives Stotsman fifth, gained him over fifth, 400 votes. The cab. Hmm. So it's now almost 1,000 vote lead for Stoutsman. And Indiana 6, we got the same 82% now in. I don't know where the other votes just came in. And Indiana 6, again, don't know why this hasn't been called, but it should be. Alright, so I need to stream. I'll probably end the stream soon because it's looking pretty good for Stoutsman. It's obviously should have always been called for Sure V, but oh well. Alright. Nothing for the last minute there. Congratulations for last minute for getting a good job at the Fellows program. Alright, so we're gonna get called soon in Indiana 6. So let's just all focus on the third. I'm gonna be going for a little bit longer for this stream. Alrighty. I think I might call the stream here when it hits 8. When it hits 9 Eastern. So in about 12 minutes. All right. All right. And there we go. We got a call. They have officially called Jefferson Shreve the winner in Indiana 6. So that so now it's just down to 1. Indiana 3, folks. I'll be going for another 10 minutes here, but again, Jefferson Shreve wins Indiana 6. So we're just down to 1 race with 82% of the vote in here. In District 3. So, yeah, this is basically so this has been a pretty interesting primary, to be honest. Again, I'll go until 9 Eastern, and then I'll call it a night. So again, we're waiting on more results here in Indiana. We've been live for about 3 hours. It's 8:54 Eastern, 7:54 at my house. It's looking pretty good. Good stream from tonight, folks. Um, whatever happens, it looks like there'll be 5 candidates to get over 10%. Not a single candidate looks to get over 25. We've been live for 3 hours. All right, so again, I'll go for another 5 minutes, I think. So Last updated 3 minutes ago. Let's just refresh. Yeah. All right. Again, nothing has changed the last 5 minutes here at Indiana Free. Oh man. All right. So two candidates are over 17,000 votes. Wendy Davis at 14,000. Andy Zay at 12,000. Grant Buchair at 7,900. John Kenworthy 2,800. Mike Felker at 1,300 and 1,100 for Eric Wallen. All right, so we are live here. We have it's been 82% for the last like 10 minutes here. But right now you're looking at Indiana Free. So let's just run down the results right quick. 23.8% for Marlon Stoutsman, the former congressman for this seat. All right, and Tim Smith, 22.6% with 17,062 votes. Wendy Davis, 19.5% with 14,700 votes, basically. 12,600 votes for Andy Zay, who at one point led had the lead in the entire contest. He has 16.7, and then 10.5 for Grant Buchair, who won two counties. Like Dante said, he didn't even know who this guy was, but he got 10%. All right, so we have no winner yet declared. It's 10 Eastern. It's about to be 10 Eastern. 9 Eastern, sorry. We've been going for about 3 hours. Um, so I think I'm gonna check out for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching this stream. I'm Shaboku's Central Chief Streamer and your owner and Andy from SPC. Good night.